Joining us now for reaction to what we've just been talking about, Texas Congressman and member of the Oversight and Reform Committee, Representative Pat Fallon. Congressman, before we get to that, because certainly there'll be a lot to talk about as far as what the administration continues to try to do as far as COVID is concerned, but I understand you just got done voting on something that may have been related to continuing to fund the government. Now, we had been reading that had been done in the House, that they already had a deal and it was going to the Senate. I'm kind of curious if you could give us an update on the fact that we all want to see our government continuing to operate.
No, Bob, obviously we definitely do. The problem that I have with the continuing resolution through February means that there can be no new starts or really even funding or research on critical matters related to defense. You know, sitting on the Armed Services Committee, that's a huge concern of mine, and we're really doing the work of our adversaries to delay, any kind of new weapon systems and next generation fighter aircraft and such, and that's really doing China and Russia, for that matter, a favor. And I really wish we would get our jobs done now, regardless of how long it takes. If we have to stay here through Christmas, then we should. But to kick the can down the road 10 weeks doesn't the American people no good.
But it appears that that's the direction that it's going. I mean, earlier today, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, though, said that there's a decent chance the courts will strike down vaccine mandates. He doesn't think shutting down the government over the issue is going to get an outcome. He believes that it's only going to create chaos and uncertainty. So there seems to be some mixed messaging coming out of the Senate as to what will happen once it gets there.
Well, Heather, that's not new to have mixed messaging coming out of the U.S. Senate. That's pretty much par for the course. Listen, I do agree in part, because I think that the vaccine mandates are unconstitutional. I think the courts will strike them down. But, there's that delta between the implementation via an executive order or an agency and then the courts getting to it. So I'd like to see them struck down forthwith.
Congressman, before we go, your thoughts about what the president is trying to implement in battling COVID, continuing this battle?
Bob, honestly, I think he's trying to stop the wind. Let's be honest here. We have a vaccine. It should be an American's choice. We also have very good treatments if you get COVID. The antibody infusions work remarkably well. And the Omicron, from all accounts, it doesn't seem like, it just accounts for mild symptoms, minor aches and pains, a little bit of exhaustion. Sounds like what you get at the end of a hard day's work. That may be why liberals are so terrified of it. I'm not sure. But the Omicron, I don't think, is a national emergency by any stretch. The pandemic, I really, truly believe the pandemic is over. COVID is not. We're going to have to live with it. But as far as it being a national emergency, we need to move on and get our country going again, get our economy going again. And all Joe Biden has done is taken away our liberties and made us no safer.
We heard President Biden announce these travel restrictions for people coming into this country today, which we expected that he was going to do. But we had Biden's COVID czar say that everything is still on the table, including a vaccine mandate for domestic travel. Would that even be legal? And what could Congress do about that?
Heather, it would absolutely not be legal. It's the very definition of tyranny. And they're just, again, COVID is going to be with us for probably the rest of our lives, but it's getting to be so manageable. I mean, I believe the FDA just approved an antiviral treatment as well for this. So this is well in hand due to the private sector, due to American ingenuity. And I just think COVID is something the left just can't let go.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right. Congressman Pat Fallon, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Heather, thank you. God bless.